Hey, take two, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. It is Friday, and I am your host, Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
There you go. And together we do this each and every day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, helping you head back to the window. Sorry about that. Sorry for the show us interruptus, as I'm not going to lie. I scramble between shows at the end of Chris's show and the beginning of this show and hit the NASCAR show instead. So there you go. And by the way, that's a preview of our NASCAR show. We're going to be doing that right after this one. So make sure you stay tuned for that. If you get an opportunity to check it out, we're going to have a special guest on, Scott. Hopefully, maybe help you a little bit with your picks.
With my picks?
I'm just kidding. We're gonna have Rye Cape on, a good dude that has been on Allie's show before and knows his NASCAR. So it'll be fun to have him on. Speaking of Allie, allegedly she's going to be here for the show. So we'll see if Allie stops by and checks us out. So yes, apologies to everybody that saw the wrong time, wrong show. Good catch by Tim and Scott. There's no other way to get around it other than to just start it up, because it wouldn't notify, it wouldn't be under the right header. It's just all kinds of different.
At least we noticed a minute in. It really wasn't that big of a deal.
Yes, absolutely true. So we're gonna have to rush a little bit to get through here. So let's get right to it, man. Let's talk about the good news, the bad news. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. All the winners, all the whiners, all the people that took it to the bank, and all the people that took it in the shorts. You know who you are, and now we're going to tell the world. It's the Friday edition, kids. It is time, once again, to get out that flip phone, and why don't you just call the cops? All right, very good, Scott. Let's fire it up. In the NHL, if you had the Tampa Bay Lightning team total under 3.5, oh, man, you were in good shape there against the Leafs. They had 3 goals at the end of what? Oh, no, regulation. That's not good, because now one score in overtime and your son, here it comes. There it is. That's a goal. That's 4. That's a loss. If you had Lightning team total under 3.5, you had it capped correctly, but you were a victim of overtime. Call the cops.
So what are the Lightning now? 19-0 off a loss?
19-0 off a loss. That is correct.
That's what I thought. Now, the second one, if you had the Hurricanes and the Bruins under 6, why would you do that? You were in good shape, though. You only had 2 goals through the first 2 periods. Unfortunately, it's the Hurricanes and the Bruins, so you know that they're going to go over. And they scored 5 goals in the third period. Game landed 7.
Oh, that's weird. We haven't had an NBA game yet and call the cops. Well, maybe this is it. Oh, no. You had the Kings.
Every game was awful.
You had
yesterday.
You had the LA Kings plus 1.5, not the Sacramento Kings. You had the LA Kings plus 1.5. Yeah, a tie game with 6 minutes left, man. Oh, come on now. Oh, Edmonton, you are just too good on the offensive side. They end up putting 2 biscuits in the basket in the last 5 minutes, 10 seconds. The Kings, they lose by 2. Kings plus 1.5. Tear it up. Call the cops.
Yeah, it turns out I thought we would have 1 or 2 Game 7s, and we all got Game 7s, because I'm pretty sure Miami and St. Louis, I think, were the only 2 teams to actually close out their series.
Yep. I believe you are.
So what was that,
correct.
like 2 for 5?
2 for 5. Yep, that's exactly right. All right, well, there was some good news out there. Oh, I can't imagine what games we're going to have here. Let's take a look. Let's find out those nice, easy victories. It's Thursday. Who the hell was sitting in the rocking chair?
So, first one in the NBA, if you had the Mavericks plus 2 against the Suns, they led by 15 at the half, and they won by 27. I lost my series play on the Suns. I had the minus 1.5 games. I mean, when you win your home games handily and you can't win one road game, it is what it is. You had some shots. I mentioned in the show yesterday, you had a chance to hedge if you wanted to. I did not, and it is what it is.
All right, very good. Now we go to Game 7. Well, Phoenix, they didn't care about Game 6. They knew they'd play Game 7 at home.
No, they're going back home, Home court advantage in that series is worth, 25 points?
Yeah, apparently that's exactly what it is. So 19 points is the 17.1 points average margin of victory. I did that for Clar.
It's basically the equivalent of the Hurricanes-Bruins series.
Every home team has won. Every home team is covered. No game has been closer than 7. So there you go. Hey, if you had the Yankees-White Sox over 8, No sweat right there, kids. 10 runs the first 4 innings. Take a nap, would you? That game landed 22. 22, Scott.
Yankees are good, man. Yankees are good.
And by the way, that was tied 8-8 in the 8th, right?
I was tied 8-8 in the 8th, and the Yankees scored 7 runs in the 8th.
Brutal. Just
La
brutal.
Russa brought in a lefty.
By the way, that's 20. That's 23.
Or was it 15-7 or 14-7? So it might have been 23 in the end. I think I wrote it when it was. They might have scored again as I was writing it up, but
Okay.
yeah, it went well over the total.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 23.
Okay.
So let me change the sheet real quick.
You don't have to change the sheet. I already said it.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking. I just do it to annoy you. Anyway, Yankees did pretty well. La Russa brought in a lefty to not pitch to Rizzo. They brought him in to pitch to Stanton and Donaldson.
Super.
And Stanton had a 2-run single, and Donaldson had a 3-run homer.
Hey, aren't those guys both right-handed? That's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. La Russa, I don't know if he can see that well anymore with his old age. But anyway, if you had the Astros on the money line against the Twins, Astros low-key won 10 in a row, and nobody's talking about them. But if you had them on the money line, they led 4-0 after 4 innings, and they won 5-0. Did you know they won 10 in a row? Because I was shocked when I found that out.
No, I didn't. I was not aware of that. I knew they'd been playing pretty good baseball.
Yeah, 10 straight.
I didn't know they'd won 10 straight. So very good. All right.
Tim saying that he noticed the Maple Leafs are choking again. Is anybody surprised? I will be betting Tampa Game 7.
Yep. Got to do it.
So
got to do it.
Toronto's lost, 10 straight game clinching or series clinching games? I think it's 10 straight.
That sounds right. Yep, I believe
they're 0-8, I believe, in the Marner-Matthews era. So, no, I am not picking them to exercise the demons against the 2-time Stanley Cup defending champions.
Hey, we haven't heard this one in a while. We love the sound effect. We talked about it before when we first started doing this show. We were doing radio, and we used a sound effect. It probably made us laugh for a fucking month straight. So
it still makes me laugh.
We're gonna do it again. We're gonna. I think this guy is in some serious pain. Let's find out who it was. It was Thursday, and someone has revealed themselves as the donkey of the day. Take it like a man. Oh, Scott. I've joked before, and I even joked on Chris's show. I don't think there's a coach you don't hate, or there's not very many of them. You hate a lot of coaches, but you have a special place in your heart reserved for one Doc Rivers. Would you like to talk about his post-game press conference a little bit?
So we know that Rivers has had a couple of really nice quotes, whether it involved justifying keeping Embiid in the game up 25 in a closeout game because Toronto kept its players in, whether it involved him stating he had to start DeAndre Jordan for the first 2 games of the series.
I don't like it. It is what it is.
His quotes yesterday after the elimination from the playoffs against Miami, he had quotes about his job security, and these quotes were actually right after each other. And I'm going to start off with the actual initial quote. He was asked about his job security. He responded by saying, quote, "I don't worry about my job. I think I do a terrific job," end quote. Nice and modest. And then he kept going.
I could say the same thing about my NASCAR betting.
Yeah, he kept going and said, quote, "When I first got here, no one picked us to be anywhere," end quote. The Sixers, for reference, had the 7th lowest title odds when the season started, and I believe they had the 4th lowest title odds once James Harden was traded there. So I don't know what he's talking about. However, it turns out he was right about that first part because of a late development. Daryl Morey announced about 20 minutes ago they are keeping Doc Rivers as the head coach next season.
There you go.
So
happy birthday, Philly.
He's a late honorable mention, Daryl Morey, for Donkey of the Day for bringing back Embiid. I mean, for bringing back Rivers after he killed Embiid for the first 2 games of the series they lost in. But he's a terrible coach. Can you say that? Can you really say you think you did a terrific job and you threw the early 2000s Orlando Magic under the bus when people were roasting you for your 3-1 blown leads?
Right.
There is no accountability at all with Doc Rivers, and he's going to make the Hall of Fame because he's going to finish top 10 in wins in the history of NBA coaches. He's not an NBA Hall of Fame caliber coach.
Yep.
He's just not very good.
I agree. Jim was here, and now he's not here. He probably popped by to tell us what a great job we did with the intro.
I thought he was going to tell us that, the first one was the NASCAR show.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I mean, IC's right. They're not going to win a championship with Doc Rivers. It's going to be even worse when Harden opts in because he's in line to make $47 million, so Harden's guaranteed to come back. So, yeah, Philly's screwed. Embiid is stuck with an aging core that's not really good. I know Maxi's very good, but you're getting an older Tobias Harris and an older James Harden, and Harden's the main concern there. And Doc Rivers is allergic to mid-game adjustments. So, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I think you pretty much covered everything I would have said and more. Yeah, you laid out your anti-Doc case.
There's a lot of coaches I don't like. There are a lot that I do like, but we never talk about them because they do such a good job that we don't bring them up. Doc Rivers has just consistently fallen short every single year, and the only time he ever actually won a title was because he had Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, 3 top 50 players of all time, mixed with Rondo, who's potentially a future Hall of Famer. They had a stacked lineup, as you want to say, and they still only won 1 title.
Yep, very good. People asking us about the games tonight. Boston over Milwaukee, Scott. Milwaukee hasn't been great at home against the number.
No, they're going for elimination, but my question for you is, after such a choke job that Boston had in the last minute of that home game in Game 5, do you think they bounce back or do you think they roll over?
I think they bounce back.
I agree. I think it's going 7.
I agree. Memphis Golden State, that has been a home series there. Is the can Memphis get there? There's a couple questions. Is 8 a ridiculous fucking number?
It's not as ridiculous as 8.5 was.
Yeah, okay, good point. And can Memphis win it outright?
I think they can. Am I picking them to win it outright? Not necessarily. But I do think that it's pretty offensive to give a team 8 or 8.5 points after leading by 55 in the game prior in the third quarter. And I get that you can argue Golden State took the game for granted. They didn't really care. Now they're going back home. As far as I know, Steve Kerr is not going to be on the sidelines for this game, right?
That's the last word I have, that he will not be there, correct.
So you think that I want to lay 8 points with Mike freaking Brown? Absolutely not.
What's a coach worth? Chris and I talked about that a little bit. I'm actually
we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah,
we said we thought Kerr was worth 2.5.
Yeah, 2 to 3. Yep, exactly.
But
right.
Do I want to lay 8 points with a Golden State team with a backup head coach that's not very good? No, I do not.
Okay.
Do you?
Well, apparently Kerr's worth about 40 points. So
yeah, apparently.
No, I'll take Memphis plus the points there.
I think they got a shot to win.
And I'd take a spin on the money line. I was going to see, you got a money line price in front of you?
The money line price was around plus 300, plus 310. I did check the series price, and Memphis, I believe, was plus 700. Don't do it. You're better off doing a rollover parlay, or if you're potentially doing it offshore with a local guy, you should try an open parlay. Because the odds you're going to get from the 2 picks, I'm assuming Golden State would be favored in Game 7 anyway.
Yes.
Assuming Kerr's back. Probably 3, if I had to guess what the line is. Golden State minus 3 in Game 7.
Depending on what happens in this one, but yeah, they've
2.5?
Yeah, it's been 2, 3, and 4 as far as the home.
I'm assuming Golden State would be favored on the road. So you're looking at plus 300 probably with a plus 130, 120.
Yep.
That'll pay out more than 7 to 1 if you get yourself an open parlay or you just roll it over.
Absolutely.
So that's how I would handle it.
Absolutely will. Tim says after Memphis covered by 43, I do like the Warriors minus 8. Okay.
There's 2 ways to look at it. Either one, it's the ultimate okie doke, and Golden State is going to be so focused for this game after being embarrassed in the last game that they're going to take Memphis behind the woodshed. Or the other hand is Memphis is actually really good without Ja Morant, and the markets still believe that Ja's worth X amount of points when he might be worth negative points. Can you say that if Memphis is potentially better without him?
It's possible. I mean, they have a better winning percentage without him than they do with him.
Just saying, if you believe Memphis is better without him, then Ja's probably worth, what do you think, 2-3 points according to Vegas?
Yeah.
And you could argue he's worth negative 2 points according to what you've seen from the results.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly good breakdown. They're probably, I think that they're missing it by 5 or 6 points. I think that's entirely possible.
That's what I'm saying. So you can make an argument that if Morant was playing in this game, Golden State would be favored by 5, and I think they might be better without him. So you might be getting 3 free extra points. But I think Memphis is just a really bad matchup for Golden State. Memphis is long, they're athletic, and they're physical. And you look at Golden State, you look at the fact that this team can shoot most of the time. I know Poole has kind of fallen off a cliff for the last couple of games. They don't have many athletes. So it's very difficult for Golden State to fully create space when you look at everybody that Memphis has to bring to the table. And Golden State's bench is also not very good. Memphis's is.
Yeah.
So I think it's also just a bad matchup for Golden State.
Yep. Ninth Wonder said, breaking news, Russia just extended Brittany Griner's incarceration by another month. Absolutely terrible. I'm not going to argue with it's terrible. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know that I have a great answer. I do have a question, though, Scott. Is that different if it's LeBron James?
I think it probably is.
Yeah, I think
that's how I would look at it. Of course, it's not a hot take to say that NBA players have more of an impact than WNBA players in terms of social media and just recognition. I'm assuming most people know who Brittany Griner is, whether you follow WNBA or not.
I would think so, from a great career at Baylor and whatnot, sure.
Yeah, one of the only women who could ever dunk.
Right.
She had those comments a couple of years ago that she thought she could beat Boogie Cousins in a one-on-one, which is one of the stupidest comments of all time. But people still know her from it. But still, of course, the whole thing is messed up and everything like that. She should have also read the rules on what to bring on an airplane. Just saying.
I'm not giving any quarter there to the fact that the charges could all be trumped up bullshit.
It could be. Don't get me wrong. I'm blaming mostly how Russia's handled it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it wouldn't have happened if she did not have something questionable in her back. I don't think it was planted. That's all I'm saying.
Did it? Yeah, I trust the official account. Not at all. I'll just say that.
Okay. No. I'm blaming most of it on how Russia's handled it. But I think that I can't give them 100% of the blame.
Okay.
I'll give Griner 3%.
Okay, fair enough. Michael Dost, you like the overs in the NHL elimination games as they pull the goalies 4 or 5 minutes. They've really been doing that throughout the whole series. I think they've been you've seen the desperation set in earlier in the third period than you normally would in the regular season. I think of all the games, I think that continues. That's something that we've talked about and something that has definitely led to some overs cash in there late in the third period.
Yeah, we might be saving one of these plays for later, but from what I've gathered, the odds makers have been getting absolutely brutalized by overs in the playoffs because the one series that's been going under is the series everybody's betting to go under, the Calgary series.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Every other series has gone over. So the way that I see it is I have to lean to the overs as well because Carolina game that we just saw is a great example of it. You have 2 goals going into the third period. The total is 6. So you just need to avoid a massive over in order to actually lose the bet. And what do you know? You pull the goalie a couple times. Carolina scores a meaningless goal on the power play late in the game. And you get a bunch of random scramble points goals.
Yep.
So, no, I'm not interested in taking it under. That's why my play of the day for the Calgary-Dallas game was a first period under. Because I don't trust the full game under enough in an elimination game where a team's going to be pulling the goalie down 3 goals.
Okay. Somebody wanted us to expand on our Celtics thoughts a little bit.
My thoughts, I think that these teams are just evenly matched. And I know Boston just blew the game. That also means Boston could easily be up 3-2.
Right.
I feel like people are going to be looking at home court and talking about how this is definitely the eye of the tiger, we are the champion mindset type of thing that Milwaukee's got going for him. But Boston's been there every step of the way. It's not like this series has been a blowout one way or another. These teams are evenly matched. And the fact that this actual spread is only 1 or 1.5 with Milwaukee at home tells you that Vegas thinks Boston's the better team.
Okay, very good.
And whether you believe that or not is a separate story. But I do believe Boston has enough firepower offensively and enough defensive, I'd say, integrity to not roll over and to keep this game close. So I understand why people like Milwaukee. I find the spread itself a little bit trappy. I'm going to trust my instincts, which was when the series started, we are going to 7 games.
Yep, absolutely agree. All right, we talked about it. You know her, you love her. If you're a fan of Morning Wood, and who isn't? It's the Plus Money Honey. It's the one, the only, all the way from Picks and Parlays, direct from Las Vegas. Fabulous Las Vegas, everybody. It's Allie Burns. What's up?
Hello.
How are you?
Y'all doing?
We're living the dream.
Good.
It's Friday. I'm halfway through my triple header. We got the NASCAR show yet to do with Rye, and yeah, having a great Friday.
That's right. Rye Cape's coming on from the Insider's Room. I love that.
That's right. So
he's killer.
And yourself, how's Vegas?
Vegas is good. Went out last night to watch the Mavericks game. That was I was kind of actually more into the hockey than I was the Mavericks.
Well, the NBA games kind of sucked.
Yeah, it was kind of a blowout. So not super into that one. But yeah, I did well. My offshore account that I bet on is kind of my degenerate account where I make like little bets and I bet on all kinds of different things. KBO,
is that your table tennis book?
And table tennis and stuff like that. But it's really like brought the degenerate out in me. So I'm trying to tank my bankroll. It's a tank roll. Now, in the process of doing that, I had all kinds of hockey action last night. So I made the round trip. I made exactly $0 and I lost exactly zero. My entire bankroll was in like 12 different bets. And, I did not make or lose any money.
So since you had action on hockey, does that mean you are back or you are invested now in the hockey playoffs?
Yes, and I feel like Drunk Alley made a good play last night. I took the Penguins plus 109, and then I took the Rangers series price at plus whatever that was. So I felt like I hedged myself because if the Rangers win it tonight, that works. And then if the Penguins win it tonight, I cash that, and my Rangers series is still alive. So,
well, no. If the Penguins win tonight, the series is over.
Oh, then my thingy is still, or then my plus money still cashes. That's what the hedge was. Hold on one second.
I think the point is you don't think that Pittsburgh can win a road Game 7. I think that was the point of your handicap.
Yes. Oh, it was Rangers plus 185. That was the number.
I love listening to Sober Alley justify Drunk Alley's actions.
Yeah.
That's really the best part of the show.
The only thing I know about the Penguins tonight, which actually was a breaking news story right before we went on air, Crosby has a concussion. So he's probably done for the series. Right. And usually, throughout the entire series, I've been betting overs. Overs cashed every game. It's been great. Usually it's 6. I stayed away because on the overnight when I make the videos, I can't take an over when Pittsburgh's missing his best offensive player. And when you're looking at the line of Crosby, Gensel, and Rust, that has been the best line for Pittsburgh by far. And with Crosby being out of the even strength and the power play especially, I don't know how much they contribute. So I stayed away from the actual total. I do like the Rangers tonight.
Okay.
I like Allie. You're like waving to people in the comment section.
Uh-huh.
That's excellent.
I do that. I'm sorry. They're saying hi. I feel bad.
Now, what do you think? Do you think Pittsburgh overcomes at home, or do you think missing Crosby is too much?
I think based on how they played so far, they haven't looked the same without Crosby. I mean, I know that's not much of a shocker. You say, well, yeah, the Buccaneers, they kind of suck without Tom Brady. And, it's not quite that dramatic, but I think it's going to be a tough road to hoe. I think your roommate could ultimately be happy, Rochelle.
I think
really
he could be
the
too.
Rangers. And Lenny really, really liked the Capitals tonight. That was his big one. Was
the Capitals? I'm a little bit concerned about, but I'm sorry. I'll let you finish your point. You're going to
No. Go ahead. I was just going to tell you about a round robin that he made me make.
Oh,
but go ahead.
Capitals series or the Capitals tonight?
The Capitals tonight. He really, really liked them.
The truth is the Capitals should have won the series already. They've blown several games they should have already won. But they've blown the last, let's just say they've blown the last couple of games in excruciating fashion. And I feel like Florida, when they came back from 3 goals down last game, they found their groove offensively. And that was the one thing that Washington could not let it have happen because Florida was the number 1 goal-scoring team in the league. I just think that Washington, as a veteran team, could not have afforded to give up those games in the way that they did. Mentally, they might be fried because they gave Florida a team that was dead to rights. They pulled the goalie. They were about to be down 3-1.
Threw him a lifeline.
They scored, won in overtime, and they came back from 3 goals down the game after. Those are 2 really hard ways to just games to come back from and survive elimination. I'm actually leaning Florida tonight. I think Washington missed their chance.
By the way,
That's what I said. I told Lenny because he wants me to put the whole bankroll on one game, and like I'll literally vomit as soon as I push that button. I can't even handle that.
Not
I
even-
like the Rangers more than the Panthers tonight, but I would stay away from the Capitals because I really don't know how you get up for the third time after you blew the last 2 games as badly as you did. That's how I'm looking.
not even. So you're saying not even
know.
Drunk Alley will put her whole roll on one game?
She had them all in
God,
12
no.
separate games.
Right. By the way,
like, I've got myself into like the $2 to $5 betting habit so hardcore, and it's kind of funny because like the final lesson that this bankroll is teaching me is to get back to my $10 bets. Like I already bet small, but $2 is not. It's it was research in my head. It was research on how to arbitrage and how to do certain things. I need to like get back to my real handicapping where I do stats and I do my real stuff and I go back to the book and I actually make paper tickets. That's kind of what my goal is for the summer, is to get back into that. But I've had this bankroll I put $100 into it over a year ago and I've never busted it, but because it's offshore, I've got to get it to 500 to cash it out, I'm taking a ton of plus money bets at $10. So that might happen as I try to tank it, but I need out of this.
Is that
roll.
a rule? You have to get to 500 in order to.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, Rick Zepp says he's playing hard to get.
I know. I love that.
I believe the no on that statement is minus 2,500.
But yeah, see, that was my thing with the Capitals too. I feel like every time that I bet on them, they screw me. So I'm not thrilled about the Capitals bet tonight, but I am on it. I also have a round robin with all 3 of the dogs in it by 2s and 3s.
I'm going to back up, and if you say you're playing with $100 bankroll and Lenny wants you to put it all on, yes, then I'm okay with it. I thought you were talking about like an actual
that roll.
I'll just say a larger roll than that.
Yeah, no, I have like 100 in MGM. I've got 150 in MGM. I've got probably 75 in Circa. I get it all spread out. But
so you're living off your wagers, is what you're saying. You're paying all the bills with your winnings.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think I have a couple.
No, I'm degenerate sports betting. That's what I'm doing. Well, that used to be before I got hired with Picks and Parlays. That was a way that I paid bills, was through betting on sports.
Right.
But like I said, now I make enough money that I don't have to bet on sports to survive. But I've just gotten in this really degenerate slump of taking other people's picks and betting on things I don't know about. And so,
plagiarism is pretty degenerate.
Come to God moment.
Oh, have you made?
I said plagiarism is pretty degenerate. So
she's borrowing. She's
taking people's picks.
She's not plagiarizing.
Yeah, I am taking
she's not
making.
Joking. We always ask her, and she always gives credit where credit is due. So
I was completely joking, but I'm just saying.
All right.
I do. Well, I'll take credit. I got the Celtic series price at plus money, and I got the Bucks series price at plus money. Don't care who. That's me. That's the stuff Allie Burns does. But that's kind of like what I've been working on, is those middles and those in games and
the queen of ARB. She's the ARB queen. You're the ARB queen. That's what you are.
Do you make the same amount for the Celtics and the Bucks, or do you make one? You make more? Oh, so it's the exact same.
Yeah, it's always the same.
Okay.
I'm not very good at math, so I don't like to calculate things out. I just want it to be a flat rate.
There you go. This is pretty much a clinic on how to run your account and how to bet sports.
How to tank roll.
Make sure you bet both sides. Don't worry about the math. You don't have to worry about any math skills. Figuring odds, that's overrated.
Just as long as they're both plus money, you're going to be fine.
I think the most important part is get a lot of friends who make good picks for you.
Well, I host a show called Morningwood. Every Monday there's 100 people that enter the contest. And then from there, thank you, Michael Dost. Thank you. Michael knows me.
So the cute blonde lady hosts a show called Morningwood, and everybody's absolutely there for the picks. Sure. Okay.
100%.
It's about the content.
We love you. Hey, you know what? I forgot. I didn't even look. How did our totals go the other night?
Oh, we were off. I was terrible. I think you were actually okay.
Okay. Well, that's what's important.
I don't know if the Astros one it got suspended, so I don't know if that's voided or if that's whatever, but I think I went over.
Okay. Oh,
I might have went over with a push.
Well done.
I know you did well. I was awful on that.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I was terrible.
All right. Good. I honestly didn't know. I wasn't trying to roast you. I didn't.
Oh no, I was bad. I was bad. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
James Mount says there's no one better at Russian table tennis than you.
James Mounts is who I went head to head with in the Handicap Baton. We tied for first at 40 and 20, and then we did a playoff, and I went 41-21. He went 42 and 20.
Very nice.
You lost.
He beat me. Yeah, he beat me.
Okay.
Well, we tied for first in the
Yeah.
60 picks, but I was like, no, we are not tying James Mounts. I would rather take second place than tie somebody. So
Everyone,
So I took
everyone coming to your defense from their perceived roast that I was just giving you shit, but we know that
they know I'm sharp. I'm very honest with them too. Like I'm not going to pretend I'm some big bet. I'm a single mom. Like I'm not betting $100 a game. I'll go pay a freaking phone bill with $100.
Well, look at that. Look at the background where you live. That's got to be worth. You live
That's
in
a lot of jerseys. You got
That's-
some autographed bats back there.
That's my new thing that I'm getting into is auctioning cards. I am so freaking into like
Baseball
these
cards?
little baseball and basketball cards.
I heard those
I'm
do
like,
well.
Yeah, they do. And I'm into these auction sites and I'm really freaking excited. It's like my new passion. It's my new inspiration right now.
That sounds like
are
one
you
of the.
getting actual cards or are you buying packs?
I've got packs. I've got like 8 packs right now.
Okay.
And then there's all kinds of like okay, so I'm buying packs to sell, but then I go on the auction and you bid on what team you're going to get and that whole thing. So I've got cards coming to me because I bid on them. And then the girl I'm doing it with, Tony the Goat, y'all know Tony the Goat Cobbs. She's got all kinds of memorabilia. This is really her thing. She just needed a face and some hands. And
do you have any stances on individual players with your cards? Do you have like duplicates of one individual player? Because I remember when Tatis was first coming up, he was the hot commodity for cards, and I believe the price of his cards have like quadrupled since, or been even more. But that was back when he was a rookie, and now I know that was definitely a thing. I know Eloy Jimenez or Luis Robert was one of them as well. Do you invest in young players, or you just pick players that you like and go from there?
I'm still new at this. So I haven't bought my own cards except for through the bid, which I don't get. And I have the worst luck in the world because, you bid on the team and then they pick the team and that's who you get. So you don't know who you're bidding on. You're just bidding for a spot.
Did you try some Sage?
In baseball? No, that's a good call. I should. In baseball, I get the Reds and the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
In freaking football, I got the Dolphins, but I did pull a bad A Tua card, which I'm excited to see.
Okay.
And then in basketball, I got the Wizards, the Hawks, and name the other worst team in basketball.
Does that include retro cards, or is that only active rosters?
It's whatever comes out of that box. When they open the box, you're bidding on what team, and every guy on that team that comes out of the box goes to you.
But I was wondering, can you get Dominique or people, or is it just the active roster?
It depends on the year of the box of the card.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to get a Shaq Magic card, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, Penny, one of those. Yeah.
Is in Michael Dosas, is Top still the number one? I know there was Fleer and Donruss as well.
Didn't Fleer go under?
I don't know.
Panini is a really big one. And they do the Prism. They started the Prism cards, and then Optic came out. Prism is still more valuable, but Optic is like a really cool one also that does the chrome and the hollows and all that stuff.
That was the Tatis one. I believe it was the Optic one, and that price skyrocketed.
That's my two as an Optic one. I'll show you guys. They should be coming this sometime this week. I'll bring them on the show next week. I'll show you. I don't even fully remember what I've got because they go so fast, and like I'm painting or something, and then they say my name, and I'm like, "What did I get?" And
very good.
So I got a really good Reds card, but I don't know who it is, and I don't know if it's good because it's autographed or whatever. So
I heard that Panini, the card brand, is pretty, is growing pretty quickly. I heard they have a very nice press.
I heard that maybe it's Optic.
Allie, you're not gonna Allie, come on. Panini press, that went right over your head. Come on.
Oh my God.
Scott,
why do you do that to our guests? Come on, be nice.
Panini has problems with off printing, so that's why I didn't catch that because you're wrong. Panini actually does not have a good.
That's a bad press, but as a good, it's really good to eat.
Well,
hey, all press is good press.
As enlightening as this is, we've got to move on. You're a lovely couple, but it's time to play You Bet Your Life and say the secret word. No, Allie, give us some picks for tonight. What do you got? Give us you got 2 basketball games. What do you like?
I don't care. I think I like the Warriors. I don't care about the basketball tonight. I have series prices on stuff, so I think the Warriors get it done. And who's the other one? The Celtics and the Bucks.
Yes.
Yeah. You think the Bucks close it out? You got Game 7.
I would love to say Game 7, but
so do it.
I don't know.
You don't know anyone. Just take Game 7.
I just don't know. But I'm on the Penguins. I'm on the Caps. I'm on the Stars. And I've got round robins going on all of those also. And then tennis and KBO. So
Okay.
I think my favorite hockey play is the Rangers in regulation at around plus 120, plus 130. But without Crosby, they really might fold. If the Rangers are going to win, I doubt it's going to be in overtime. I think they'll win handily if they really just no-show the game without Crosby.
I was like, oh, I've got the Rangers plus 117. Oh, no, I don't. It's the Scottish football team, the Rangers. That's what I bet on. Scottish. See, it's a problem. I gotta tank the roll.
I want to go to the sports book with Drunk Allie.
Oh, she's a blast.
Oh, I'm sure.
She'll do your laundry. She really likes laundry. I don't know what her deal is.
Allie, thanks for joining us. Yeah. And
thanks for putting up with me, guys.
We try to make this an every Friday thing. When Allie's not looking for her cat or has friends in from out of town, she ran out of gas. I swear to God, it wasn't her fault. But it's she's gonna be back with us. You can catch us on her show every Tuesday night. As we talk, it devolves into, of course, total chaos. Allie, where else can we find you? What else are you doing?
Morning Wood, Monday through Friday, right here on the Max Wagers Network, 1 p.m. Eastern. And then tonight I'm doing 2 Total Chaoses of baseball and the first ever soccer Total Chaos. So definitely check that out as well. Sean Miller, Tony the Goat Cobbs, and Kaepernick are all going to be on. They're going to give me, it's a different format. They're not going head to head. They're going to give me their 3 best totals from their leagues, Boom Dust, EPL, and Serie A.
All right. Very good. Yeah. She's Allie Burns, everybody. You can find her on Twitter at @PlusMoneyHoney. Check her out over there doing her thing, giving everybody morning wood every day at 12 p.m. Eastern time. No, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Following Sean Higgs. All right. Thanks, Allie. We appreciate it. We got to get you out of here. We can't let a lady see us wear these goofy hats. It's just too embarrassing.
I know. So, it's all good. I just make a flyby and disrupt things, and then I'm out.
Good deal. We'll see you Tuesday. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, buddy. It is time. Lovely lady. I roast her. We kid because we love. And
we said it's time. Are we doing any baseball coverage?
No, we got to go.
Oh, we got to go.
It's time. Okay. It's time, buddy. You got a favorite baseball game? Give me one baseball game.
Oh, I was wondering if you had anything.
Really? You fucking put the Flintstone breaks down.
I like the Reds.
You like the Reds?
I'm not going against them. They've actually won a decent amount in a row. They went from holy crap, this is an all-time bad team to they might win 70 games.
You take Molly over Keller?
They're both bad, but if you're looking at the price that you're getting, I mean the Pirates, I know they just took a series from the Dodgers, but if you want to give me a slight either even money or plus money there, I don't mind it. The Reds have won 3 of 4.
Okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna make the most fucking stock public play you could possibly make. Give me Milwaukee, Miami under. Give me the first 5 under.
Okay.
I don't want to get the bullpens involved. So see if you
got Burns on the mound.
Yeah, Burns and Lopez. Yeah. See if you can find a 3.5. You can find a 3.5. Fucking jump on it. That's my play.
It'll be minus 150, but you should jump on it.
Got to get ready for NASCAR. Right, dude. I got to do my picks. I haven't done my picks yet. Okay. I've done my matchup. I know my matchup. I got to get the other 3. I got some ideas. So
that sounds like a you problem,
Well, you know what? Now it's turned into an us problem, buddy. Let's get to it. We kind of what happened to the farm yesterday, bud?
Didn't work out because the Royals and the Rangers couldn't score.
Fuck. I hate that team so much. I wanted to like them, but they just they're a frustrating team in that the pitching kind of comes around. You get a decent pitching performance. They can't score any runs, and then of course vice versa. They finally score 5 or 6 runs and give up a dozen. So I'm back to hating this team. So all right, let's get to it, man. Let's find out what we got cooked up for today. It is time, everybody. It's Friday. I know you've been saving those good overalls. You've had them folded. You've had them hanging in the closet. It's time to break them out. Put on the fancy shit, everybody. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. Put those overalls on. Get your straw hat out. Adjust the brim correctly. And climb aboard your John Deere. Get your lucky keychain out. Put them in the ignition. And get ready, my friends, because once again, it is time, for the last time this week, to bet the farm.
Magical farm?
It's the Magic Farm. Not gonna lie, threw the headset down, landed on the more you know button there. So
I didn't know we had that button.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to use that more often.
It's built in. Hey, look, it's Farmer Jim. Jim's stopping by. What's up, buddy?
Well, boys, I was just here working on some graphics and things for your race car NASCAR show, so that you have tons of great information to impart upon people. So I was literally just in the back room here playing. So.
Can
Thank you.
Can I, Jim? I do have a technical question that I'll go ahead and ask in front of everybody here.
Sure.
Since I accidentally started the NASCAR show last time instead of this one, have we burnt through that one? Do we have to set up a whole new show?
Have you burnt through what? Which one?
The
We
NASCAR
went
show you
into
had set up for
the
us.
meeting and accidentally started and then ended it. Can we restart it from the beginning, or do we have to open
No.
up a new one?
I just created a new one for you.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks.
All right, we appreciate it. Any NASCAR thoughts, Jim?
In Kansas. What's the weather going to be like there, Scott?
Possibility of rain, should be high in the 80s. They'll be able to get it in. They might have to wait and dry it out a little bit, but
To be honest, that's always been a good track for Hendricks.
yep.
And not that that's given any breaking news to anybody, and I'm sure you guys will go in but that's been a Chase Elliott kind of place for a while. And it hasn't been bad for the Gibbs people. But off the top of my head, I'm a Ford guy, and Ford doesn't do well in Kansas that often. But
Yeah, it's been a
anyway.
Chevy track so far. All right, bud.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, it's been a pleasure, and I hope everybody's having a good time. It's always good to see you guys and wearing your hats. It's always good.
You caught us at a bad
howdy,
time.
partner. So yeah, it's NASCAR people, by all means, I enjoy. And by the way, just for the record, I just grabbed this is inside baseball, folks. In this particular case, it's inside NASCAR. I just grabbed pictures. I didn't even know that I had actually put up the same person 2 or 3 times in that open. So, if I was going to put a bunch of cars in there, they'd all be Ford. But
Right.
that's just not the way it works. So
Very good.
So the situation is, unbeknownst to me, I screwed that up. So sorry, boys.
No worries. Only Chris caught it. Scott and I did not know.
I should have known.
Yeah, of course.
I'll deal with him. Yes. All right.
Thanks, buddy. Have a great weekend.
Boys, have a good weekend.
All right, you
okay?
too.
All
See
right,
you guys.
Bye.
There he goes, everybody. Jim Williams, the man behind all of our shows here. We couldn't do it without him. So, all right, my friend. Well, let's take a look at the farm for today. Scott, we have the entire weekend spread out before us, and we're going to take advantage of that. What do we got cooked up for the farm play this weekend?
So I know that we've been talking about a lot of overs in hockey. We're going to go with another one. On Saturday, you have the Bruins and the Hurricanes. Game 7, 2 best words in sports. Going with the over, 5.5. Each of the first 6 games in the series have had at least 6 goals. 8 of the 9 meetings this season between the two teams have had at least 6 goals. Each of Carolina's last 9 games have had at least 6 goals. And 9 of Boston's last 10 games have had at least 6 goals. This total can't be 5.5. The fact that it's even available, I think I saw minus 117 last night offshore.
Get it.
Is absurd.
Lock it up.
This has to be 6 or more because we already know how often teams pull the goalie.
Yep.
In an elimination game, they might even pull the goalie earlier, but 5.5 is way too low.
There you go. That's going to do it for the farm, and that's going to do it for the show for this week. We appreciate everybody stopping by. We love all the comments. Thanks very much. Apologies, as always, if we didn't get to them. But, yeah, we love you guys, and thank you very much for stopping by. Stay tuned for the NASCAR show. It's going to be fun. We'll have Rye Cape on. We'll have Chris King. We'll have these 2 knuckleheads that you see before you right now. We'll be doing it. But if you can't make that, make sure you come back and check us out next Monday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Scott and I will do our very best to help you head back to the window.